So, Preetham, so for the past 18 years, at various stages of you growing up, have seen various facets of you in terms of skills, interests, communication, friendships, personality traits, aspirations, and emotions. And as a father, it's equally emotional journey for me. And as a person, I learned a lot through this phase of upbringing. And finally, it's good to see that you chose the path you want to travel in and settling down in your college, hostel, and environment. So tell me, how is it like being in college, and particularly in hostel, and what these first 6 weeks means to you?
First of all, I think that the the vibe around college life and the vibe around hostel life is certainly different to what it's there initially like in my life. So when I was at home, I was just like doing my stuff, and basically it was a pretty repetitive day. But in hostel, the sequence of events are completely different. Like, so you have a lot to do over there, you have a lot of friends, you have your roommates, and the it's just that the vibe in general is different. You have your parents at home, you don't have them over there, they're substituted with your roommates. And the way of learning in college is certainly different. Like, there are no tests, there are no frequent exams, it's just more of quiz and more of application based kind of events. And I just believe that the college life and college studies are more interactive and more fun, because the teachers really love teaching and don't use it and don't take it as a chore. So I think that's my first initial 6 week experience. Obviously, there is more to change and more to, you know, think about. But as of now, these are my initial thoughts.
Great, nice to hear that. So let me ask this question, right? What's this newfound love towards meditation? You weren't very keen on these sorts of things so far, particularly, either me or your mother actually keep talking about yoga, meditation, all this stuff. Actually, you kind of, not so keen on those. So why so sudden? What happened?
I I've always was kind of skeptical about meditation. Not because of any particular reason, but usually when people think about meditation, it's the spiritual aspect which always is talked about, but the real life benefits were never really highlighted in most cases when I spoke to people. Even when I spoke to Amma, it was always about more spiritual. That angle was more highlighted, and
I mean,
the
spiritual instance, you mean devotional kind of thing? Yeah.
yeah, somewhat, like people consider yoga and meditation as something as a part of Hindu culture, and that's how it's portrayed throughout, throughout Indian media and stuff like that. But so basically, once the college took us to the Art of Living ashram in Bangalore, the people and the instructors over there really opened the possibilities, and they gave very technical and real answers to what meditation actually does and how it can improve and make life a more fruitful experience, where and they made us practically experience the high of going into meditation and to perform the Sudarshan Kriya, where you have 40 minutes of very sequential and very intricate breathing exercises, which bring a different peace of mind than almost anything I've done before. So after experiencing these benefits, I realized that going forward, stress is only going to increase. And if I can cultivate these habits right now, later on I can cope with all of the stress and the hassle in a more seamless manner than I do right now. So in that way, it kind of made me open to the idea of meditating daily. And hopefully, if I do it more often, I can see the benefits more clearly. But as of right now, it's in a beginner phase. So let's see what happens.
That's wonderful to hear. Actually, I think past 2 days I've been with you and seen either at this Sadguru ashram or over here in this hut in the midst of jungle. Actually, I think love to see that you sat literally for 45 minutes, and then irrespective of all the things going on, and then could able to do this meditation and practice it. It's wonderful to see. I mean, do you so what are the other benefits you foresee? I mean, are you serious about practicing in long term? Probably that may be helpful, actually, right? So what do you think about it? Or is just first couple of days initial whatever influence you had, and then you started doing this, and then how are you going to take it for a long term?
Obviously, the first time I did it, I felt a sense of calmness, which usually I get while playing football or doing things you like. So, the instructor in the Art of Living ashram told us that when you do what you like, you feel a sense of calmness and you feel like you want to do it. And the first time I did it, that's what I felt, a lot of calmness. The second time and third time, yeah, like in most things, once you start getting used to it, you don't get the same feeling. But as per my instructors in the ashram, they told me that an initial 40 days is enough to really open up the mind and to really get the true benefits of Sudarshan Kriya and its various forms. So at least I want to get to the 40-day mark to see what changes I get, in my life, and if there's any significant change which did take place, or if I can increase my focus. Like, I just realized that there's no harm in doing it. Like, obviously I do have some time constraints when I go to the hostel, but if I can manage my time better, I'm not losing anything by doing it. So I thought I'll give it a shot. And if it really does, improve my focus, improve my, control on emotions, then well and good. If not, it gives me time. It gives me a 40 minute time frame where I don't think about the world around me. It's just me, my breathing, and how I perceive the my surroundings. But there is no thought about, oh, what's going to happen tomorrow, or what assignments I have, or what match I have tomorrow. None of that's not going through my mind. It's just me, uh, myself in that moment. So that is the feeling I get. But it's just an initial phase. I realize that. So if I can get through a month and 40 days, that time frame, and I can experience some true benefits, then it would be great. If not, I'm not complaining. If not, I can use the time for something else. But at least I found, like, some peace of mind doing it, and some time where it's like your own personal time, leisure, like how we do keyboard or like any leisure activities. This is somewhat like that, but over there you're using your brain for all that. Over here your brain is recharging. It's not doing anything. It's just in its own state. So I think that is something which is very important, because if you take a car, for example, you can't keep riding your car 24/7, or you can't keep riding your bike 24/7. It needs time for its engine to cool down, and for our body, our mind is our engine. And if you don't give it time to cool down and to restart things, well, then we are going to burn out eventually. So that's what happens to a lot of people in their late ages when the stress increases. So I just think that if I do it now, hopefully I can avoid such kind of issues in the future. So that's it.
That's great to hear. I think Pritham, actually, without any preparation, impromptu responses, I think I really loved. I mean, that's nice to hear. And I really wish you continue to take this forward. I'm sure actually this is going to give a lot of calmness and then peace of mind, and then it will help you in tough times as well, and then ongoing basis. It's good that you had some kind of influence with this workshop in Art of Living. Continue to do well. I think very proud to hear this from you. Okay, do well.